Oh, oh, yes we are, because I can see the microphone symbol. And we only have 17 drivers despite about 40 people clicking the registration, so I'm not quite too sure what happens there. I blame TVX Buzz, I don't know if anyone else does, but let's get this party underway. We've got Tier 4 on the schedule, and it is round 5. It's a sprint race, first one of the season, and we're in Australia. What a better place to kick off the sprint season. So let's see who will come out on top. We've got sort qualifying, of course, at 17 minutes, followed by a sprint race, where of course it is normal point system, and the top 8 get 1 to 8 points. And then of course we've got the race. Of course sprint race will be 10 laps, I believe. The race will be 28 laps. Of course we've got 14 corners. Around this 5.3 kilometer long track. Let's see, we've got most people now starting F-line laps. Of course qualifying more than crucial, since we'll of course have this for the sprint race, which eventually decides your race positions. So that's very crucial. You really need to be at the front if you want a good slot for that sprint race, and also as well maybe the race. So let's see, as we have both Alpines following each other through as they go through turn 5 now, on the run down to turn 6 and 7. Really want to turn in right quickly, and it looks like Mr. K Wheeler has done exactly just that. So let's see, as we have got one of two DRS zones, I do believe. And Alfa Romeo nearly getting in the way of the Alpine, but they continue. As Alfa Romeo makes way for Aston Martin and Alpine. Let's see what Mr. K Wheeler could do. This is going to be one of the few first flying laps, so let's see. At the moment, as we have a 1:18.4 being the provisional pole position time, quickly topped by Hams, and then topped by Menchi Peizo with a 1:17.6. We're not seeing many improvements, and that will not continue as Mr. K Wheeler sets a 1:18.5. I believe that was Silent Apex behind with a 1:18.1. We've seen everyone put in their banker lap times. Some are definitely below the par you'd expect them to be, and we are going to see improvements as we move later into the session. Oh, and we have the F1 rise in the McLaren, really mounting the curb of, I believe that was turn 12, and going off into gravel, and that has definitely ruined their lap. They might have to come in for a new set of tyres. Let's see what they will do. As behind we have Game in Alfa Romeo. They're currently on an invalidated lap time. Jesus is Milan doing the same as F1 Rise as they skid past the Alpine, who looks to have had a moment and is really horizontal through turn 12, so they will definitely have to get moving again, as they're in the way of many other people. That was Liam Wolf in the Alpine, as they go wide again through turn 13. Right, we've got Gamer. I believe they're going on another lap while invalidating their first one, and through turn 1, really mounting the inside curb. You wouldn't want to do that, but they've made it work. And now actually 3 DRS zones, 4 DRS zones, I do apologize, not 2 DRS zones, 4 DRS zones, around this 5.3 mile kilometer long track. As Connor now joins the session. Of course, they're currently, I believe, winning 2 out of the 4 races so far, and I believe they're top of the championship, so they'll be wanting to continue their really good run of form. As Gamer now set in purple sector times, and they are flying into Alfa Romeo, going beautifully through turn 9 and 10. Yes, 9 and 10. This seems to be good from Alfa Romeo. Is it good enough to grab provisional pole position? Was that a piece of debris lying at the exit of the final corner, turn 14? But that won't stop Alfa Romeo, who goes top with a 1:17.4. It's a lovely lap time to put them on provisional pole position. So let's see what people behind could do. F1 Rise currently on an invalidated lap time. Of course, I believe they gone out right after going wide and going onto gravel, so let's see what they could do as they go slowly through sector 3 now, getting some heat in those tyres to start their flying lap. Let's see what they could do. But currently we have Gamer, who is on the cooldown lap. I believe they are heading into pit lane. Some people yet to set competitive lap times, and Oliver B is one of them. Of course, having set their running lap time on intermediate tyres, and was that Liam Wolf smashing it into the wall, or was it lag, is the main question of F1 23. But let's see, as F1 Rise now, they have already invalidated it within the first sector, and they might just have to save their ERS and go later. Really wasting those new set of soft tyres. Liam Wolf now going across turn 14 to start their flying lap. We've got most people opting to stay into pit lane as CSP play joins the session. And Liam has spun it. And they will be wanting to get going again. What is happening with the Alpine? That was all during sector 1. And they're gonna leave space for the McLaren to go past. And that is Oliver B on an out lap. Let's see what F1 Rise could do again as they enable the ERS to propel them down the main straight, reaching about 205 miles per hour and cutting across turn 1 once again and invalidating their lap time. They can't seem to get a clean lap in, and that is really what you need to set a clean lap time. And F1 Rise clearly cutting across the track left, right and centre, as AlphaTauri is going to give Le Williams a very generous tow down the back straight, and that has definitely gained them a few tenths of a second as Novzeki Polak on their flying lap, I do believe. Let's see what they could do, and let's ride on board as they start sector 3. Through turn 12 now, and apex of turn 13. Trying to go flat out for turn 14. Let's see what the Williams driver could do as down the main straight they go. Up to P6 it is for Nevzeski Polak, a 118.0. F1 Rise now. Will they have another attempt at it? I believe they're on newer tyres. No, they are going into pit lane. And have they hit the pit entry wall with their front wing? I'm not quite too sure. No, they seem to be fine. I believe La Haas is going to go across the line. 8 power to start their flying lap. Currently sitting quite pretty in P6. But they are going to have an intense faster flying lap. Struggling to get my words out, but it's about making it work. And that was Oliver B putting it up to P10 with a 118.2. Shortly followed by was at Liam putting it up to P11, which really isn't the best, especially since it is short qualifying, so you really do need to do a lot more than just getting through, since of course you could have the chance to grab provisional pole position right now. So let's see. That time of 117.4 does seem to be pretty good from a gamer, so let's see if anyone could top that, as most people now opting to stay in the pit lane. We've got a split of cars on track versus in the pit lane, so let's see. As we have Yummy, they're on an invalidated lap time, so they'll have to take another crack at it, and let's see what they can do in the Williams. And following the Alpine through into turn 4. As let's see what it will be through the first sector, not setting it purple, improving by 4/10 on their personal best lap time. F1 Rise once again. I believe they're starting a flying lap, and Buzz going on provisional pole position with a 117.469. Barely hundredths of a second above Gamer in P2. So it's very close at the top. Violent Apex being the only one on the flying lap and not improving through the first sector. They will have to find some crucial hundredths of a second as we approach. Waiting for the yellow flag warning to disappear, as was at a McLaren stop on track. It was very close to Silent Apex. Yes, we are approaching 3 minutes left in the session. Silent Apex now gaining through the second sector and actually going purple through the second sector. Right, FBI agent now, currently on a hot lap, and how hot is it for the Haas driver? It's pretty hot as they go purple through the second sector. They're going to get a nice toe from the Alpine, really riding outside curb of turn 10, and now the Alpine will make way as the Haas gets quite a good exit from turn 11, and that is what you really do need. I myself speaking as a tier 3 driver, so let's see what the Haas could do as they go around turn 13 and 14, very nicely going flat. And let's see what they could do as they enable DRS, and down the straight it goes. And it is provisional, the front row on the grid, and that top 3 is separated by merely 200ths of a second. So you really have some close timings in there as FBI agent. I believe they'll put it into a wall, but they seem to have got going again, so they seem to be completely fine. Everyone now, currently on the flying lap. Some people will be rushing to get to the line, and let's see who will actually get to the line, as we have Yummy and the Mercedes of Jesus currently on outlaps, and they'll have to get going very fastly, but the checkered flag waves and the Mercedes has not made it to the line. It will be a best position of P16 for the Merc. Timmel and CSDA play. I don't believe they went out of the garage at all. We're going to have a lot of people completing their lap times, so let's see as we have, I believe that was someone putting it into wall, I didn't quite see, but we've got the Mercedes staying in P6. It is an improvement, but not an improvement to improve their position. So let's see, Abe goes on top of the Mercedes, P6. I believe that was the Ferrari, or I believe it was the Williams improving. And it was actually Prolac up to P7, I believe it was. A 117.6 for the Williams driver. Silent Apex is next, and it will be P9 for Silent Apex. I believe that was Macy going across the line. They couldn't improve. I believe they backed out of their lap. As FBI agent and Gamer in Alfa Romeo and Haas respectively, currently in P2 and 3. They aren't going to be the ones to improve, as we see a lot of people going very slowly, and Liam is one of them. And Liam is actually disqualified from the session. We have few people yet to complete their lap times. Rice hasn't set a lap time all session. This will be their final one. No, they have invalidated it somewhere in there. And now Oliver, the only one. No, they are going slowly. And it will be pole position for the Ferrari, with TVX Buzz snatching it by less than 100th of a second. That is blazingly quick, with I believe top 3 compared to everyone else. Top 4 in fact. And Liam will actually start P20 because of it. They've been disqualified from the session. And that is sort qualifying completed. We've got the front row of the grid alongside the Ferrari. It will be the Haas of FBI agent, 6,000th of a second in it. And that is a crazy close time. Nearly snatching pole position, and the one you do expect to be performing is Conan 1-7 down in P10. Disappointing performance around this 5.3 mile track. Kilometer, keep on making that mistake. Now starting the sprint race, let's see who will come out on top. It's an overtaking track. You've got 4 DRS zones, as I mentioned. You've got a lot of low speed corners in there as well. Medium speed, you've got a few high speed corners through turn 14, and really that's the only place. So we're going to have a lot of overtaking, and it will be an eventful start. So let's see what will happen as we have dry skies floating over Melbourne to start off with a 10-lap sprint. It's definitely going to be a no-stop, probably a mixture of soft and medium tyres being used for the sprint race. I do believe softs maybe are going to be the most favourable option, you know. And now we do have the sprint race start. Let's see. The Ferrari. Nope, it is a formation lap. Right, a bit contrary to other races who put the... Alright, and we have Liam leaving the session in P20. Right, let's see the tyre situation between everyone. And we have most people starting on medium tyres. We've got a few on soft tyres. They're going to be aggressive at the sprint race start. Let's see as everyone is weaving into turn 11, trying to desperately get some heat into those tyres, especially with most people being on mediums. They're going to have less grip at the start, but those softs will wear out, so those medium runners really need to keep in pace, and that is quite easy when you have 4 DRS. And let me just invite someone back. And now we have all 20 drivers. We've got a full lobby lining up for the race start. Let's ride on board with the Ferrari of TVX Buzz, who is at the front of this pack on medium tyres. Alongside we have FBI Agent. Possible race strategies are mediums and hards to the end of the race, but interestingly we have a lot of people picking those soft tyres, so will they have just a little... you know what, they might just run out at the end. So they're really gonna have to get into P1 if they want to win this race. I'm talking to Nozeski, Polak, and Con and Wine, as we have a very long wait for the lights to go out. And the lobby is blitzed. Hmm.